Okay, we are going live on YouTube. I'm waiting on the video to connect on my other monitor so we can grab that link and put it in our group so that our community can conveniently join us over here on YouTube Live in the live chat. All right, give me that link. Give me that link, YouTube. Okay, and we're going to put it in our community over there. I'm going to make sure I can see the live chat over here on YouTube. All right. I can see it. I can see it. Okay. So, speaking of communities and groups, if you are an entrepreneur spinning your wheels and struggling to get to your first six figures in business, this morning show is just for you. But if you want to be in studio for this show and have the opportunity to take advantage of the hot seat to get your individual obstacles addressed, like Heather and Kimberly and Shawana, Dr. LaFera and Tracy Lynn has rejoined us, Debbie and Dr. Tachi, then being in the group is just one of the ways you can take advantage of value. And go to shaycannon.info/group to join us. We come together as a free business mastermind, giving you more value than most paid masterminds. And we have three pillars of value that we give. Number one, we come together and we build community with events like the virtual happy hour that we had last week and the movie club night that we're going to have this week, as soon as I put the poll up so the group can vote. Number two, we are intentional about collaborating to make each other's businesses better and to make money together. Last but not least, number three, we have conversations that are transformational for your business growth, like free trainings and the subject matter of this morning show. So join us, shaycannon.info/group. All right, now that that's over, welcome to your first six figures morning show. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/ads. /ads. Let me drop that over there. Good morning, Dr. Toya. Because what we're talking about this week is stop wasting your money. Okay. What ads to invest in for your business? We are talking about this week because I am reminded of it because I'm about to start running ads. And I was like, hey, let's tell the people how they're doing this ad thing wrong. Okay. And how to do it right. Most of us, especially those of you who are on your road to your first six figures, you don't have time to waste and you don't have money to waste, okay? And even though Facebook ads may be the move for you, you need to know how to do it right because most of you are doing it incorrect and that's why you're not getting a return on your money, okay? Well, let's talk about it, okay? Running paid ads can be a powerful tool for entrepreneurs looking to scale their businesses and hit the first six figures in revenue. When done right, investing in ads can lead to a substantial return on investment, driving leads, sales, and overall growth. However, the key to running successful ads is timing. I'm going to say timing and targeting, but timing for you people who are just learning how to run ads, who don't have a big budget to run ads. Timing is critical, okay? The best time to invest in paid advertising when you do not have a big budget is when you have a solid, when you have solid proof that something works, okay? That something, we know it works because it's been tested, it's been refined, and it shows consistent results, okay? Now, I say something because you don't run the same type of ads all the time for the same type of people. So we're talking about something works, all right? Now, using ads to experiment, you can do that. You can find out information quickly by running ads to get the data that you need. But when you don't have a budget and you're running ads to be experimental, it can be costly, right? And you probably have wasted time and money and you're going to get minimal returns. So that's why we with smaller budgets or you haven't made your first six figures yet, there are certain things you need to know as proof that work before you start running ads, okay? Now, the lack of, let me see, when you are ready to run the ads, that means you have these things that are proven, right? When you are ready, the biggest challenge then becomes, will you know who to target and when to target them? Now, this is where a lot of people lose money, even when they have a proof of something. When they have something that actually works, this is where they still tend to lose money, okay? Now, the lack of clarity can cause even the most promising campaigns to fall flat, making it crucial to address foundational issues. But to get clarity, what we do is we break down the type of leads in your lead funnel, okay? When to target them and the type of ads to grow our relationship with them that will convert into sales, okay? That's what we do. Because most of you, what you're doing is you're just running ads to your offer all the time to everybody. You're running ads to your offer all the time to everybody. You're running ads to your offer all the time to everybody. And that's why you're losing money, okay? Because everybody is not going to buy your offer. So when you put an ad out there, it's not necessarily targeting the right people, even though they might be someone who needs what you have. But you have to go through the levels of relationship first. I want you to think about it, okay? Especially those of you with high ticket offers. When you run an ad to somebody who doesn't know you, are they going to fork over high ticket to somebody they don't know? Are they going to fork over something high ticket to somebody they might know but don't trust? No. So we know that people buy from who they like, know, and trust. So we're going to go through those levels, right? We're going to go through the people who like you, and then we're going to go through the people who now they like you and they know you, and then we're going to go to the people that like you, know you, and trust you, because those are the ones ready to buy. That's what we're doing this week, okay? So let's talk about that first group, okay? That first group is people who are new to you and your brand, okay? We call them a cold audience. And they don't know you and haven't warmed up to you just yet. So they don't know you. So therefore they don't trust you. So they are less likely to buy from you at this stage. However, the mistake is most of you, that's who you're trying to sell to. Because you know you need new people to buy, you're just trying to sell to new people. That's not how it works, okay? So now that you know who this first group is, people who don't know you, okay? But you can introduce yourself to them, okay? And you want to invite them. When you introduce yourself to them, you want them to like you. And when you want to invite them back to continue a conversation with you so that you can nurture them and they can get to know you better, you can get to know them better, okay? So now that you know who they are, your goal here, let's clarify, is to make sure, number one, they are an ideal client avatar, okay? Are they even somebody that's good for your offers? We can't be out here just liking everybody and trying to cultivate a relationship with everybody, right? So are they first your ideal client? Number two, introduce yourself and your brand. This is why that little elevator pitch is so important. And this is why it can't be too long. Okay, because people who just meet you don't want a long, they don't know you yet. So they don't even know if they like you yet. And if you take too long with that thing, they can immediately decide they don't like you, right? So this is why we get our elevator pitch together. The next thing we want to do to keep this conversation short and give them the opportunity to continue or not is we want to go ahead and invite them to continue the conversation, all right? Where you can get to know them better. Now, if you want to run ads to people who don't know you yet, okay, then these people are called top of funnel. They're at the very top of the funnel. That's what most people are. But when we run ads to top of funnel people, this is where lead magnets come in handy, right? To build our email list, we give them something of value. They don't have to know us to get something of value for free, right? Then we want to give them opportunities to follow us on social media. Then we want to give them opportunities to join our online community. So you see how we're now able to continue the conversation after we've given them an invite. The invite is something to our email list, which is a lead magnet. Follow us on social media, invite you into our online community, okay? That's what we want to do. That's all you can do with people who don't know you yet. Again, most of you are trying to sell to those people. They don't know you. They don't like you yet. It's not that you're not likable. You haven't given them a chance to like you yet. And they don't trust you. And all three have to be in place to increase the chances of selling to them. So we don't sell to these people. Again, this is top of funnel. Now, I do want to share with you what the picture looks like so that y'all know what you're doing over here. Let me find my picture. Here we go. Because I affectionately call them the Foo Fighters. And this is the whole funnel. And when we talk about funnels, let's make sure you're not looking at my boyfriend. Okay, y'all can see the funnel. Cool. So we only call them funnel because of the shape of the groupings of people. Okay, so top of funnel. That's who we're talking about today. Tomorrow we'll talk about middle of funnel. And then Thursday, we're going to talk about bottom of funnel. So TOFU, MOFU, BOFU, and I affectionately call these the Foo Fighters. All right. Now, TOFU, leads invited to get to know you and or your brand. Both, really. Okay. But this is the picture I want you to have in mind as I keep saying lead funnel and top of funnel and middle of funnel and bottom of funnel. What we know is there are going to be more people at the top that are willing to be introduced to us and know more, right? There are going to be a little fewer people, right, that actually take us up on that invitation. And then there's going to be even fewer that are ready to buy. That's how you need to look at these people. Okay, these groups of people, because a lot of you are looking at, I can sell to everybody. And you're looking at selling to that top of the funnel where the most people are. And that's not necessarily how things work. Now, have you bought something from somebody who you didn't like, know, or trust? Yes, of course you have. And people do. But guess what that tends to be? That tends to be something that is very cheap and therefore is not a big risk. And we don't necessarily want to have cheap stuff as our main offerings, right? So that's why that doesn't work for us, even though it could work for other people. Now, there are people that you have bought from that you don't necessarily know, right? But you trust them for one reason or another. That could be because they're an influencer, they've been referred to you, something like that. So you see, the trust was there. So you might not have known them yet, but there was a transference of trust and like that made you want to get to know them and trust them enough to buy. Okay, so are there caveats to people just getting to know somebody and buying? Yes, but that's not most of the people. And so what you can't do with your limited budget is go after the people on a humdinger and hope that that's you that they're going to buy from. This is why we don't get returns. All right. Now, y'all know on the morning show, you get more because all of that was just what was in the blog. Okay. So let's talk about the things you have to have ready. Okay. Which is clarity, right? We had the clarity clinic last month. And there are things that you have to get ready. Because remember, we said there are things that you have to know, right? There are things that you have to be clear on. So you need to know who your ideal client is, or you're going to waste time and money going after everybody trying to figure it out. You need to know. And you need to know a lot of detail about them, 20 to 30 aspects of them, more than just demographics. We need demographics, psychographics, buying behaviors. See, this is where knowing that person really comes in handy because now you're doing things to target and get their attention, even though you're putting your money behind it, okay? So we need to know who they are. We need to know the problem that they have that we solve with our offer, okay? Because everybody got a lot of problems. We're focused on the one that we actually solve with our offer, the pain points associated with it, the desired transformation. We need to know what is our unique selling propositions, right? What makes us stand out in a market full of other people that do what we do? See, some of y'all are running ads to general information to a general population, and you wonder why you're not generally getting results. Boom, I stepped on your feet. I'm sorry, I love you. But that's a waste of time and a waste of money. This is why we have to know them, and we have to know what we're offering, and we have to know the correlation between the two. Okay? So what we want to do with these people is we want to make new people aware of us with an overview. An overview. We don't want to talk them to death. Okay, we want to keep you there an hour trying to tell you everything and every part about it and keep turning it around. Okay, we just want to introduce ourselves and give an invitation. All right, give them reason to take us up on the invitation and get up out of there. That's all we're doing with top of funnel. Identifying our ideal clients, finding them, introducing ourselves, introducing our brands, and giving an invitation. That's what you're doing with those people. Okay, now we have to use strong hooks with these people so that we get their attention and make them want to act, okay? This is where storytelling comes into play when we want to give them an invitation, right? There can be a story. Storytelling shows up a lot of places, y'all. But this time we're talking about the story is around who you are and the invitation. Okay. People loved it. When they first meet me, the story they want to hear is how I got to Mexico. How am I a little black girl from Alabama, okay, who ended up living in Mexico? They want to know that story. What is the story about who you are, who your brand is, and even the invitation you're giving them? What is the story? I give you guys an invitation every morning to join the group. What is the story I give you around it? I let you know it's a free business mastermind. I let you know the people that show up here on this morning show are a part of that group. I let you know that this mastermind is so valuable. People have said it's better than paid masterminds. I tell you the 3 pillars of them. This is the story around that invitation. Do you know your story? Right? Then you need to learn how to call out their pain points and call out their dream, which is that transformation. We're initiating a relationship by giving value. So you need to come bearing gifts. That's what your lead magnets are. Okay? They're the gifts. So they need to be valuable to the person that you want to receive it. They can't just be valuable to you, what you have the convenience to do, what you just want to give. It's not about you. Ooh, that almost killed me because I swear I believe everything about me. But okay, back to business though. It's not about you. It's about the ideal client, right? If it was about me, I wouldn't do this morning show. Not even a morning person, let alone want to get up and do content. Okay? It's not about me. It's about y'all. It's about, this is a great time to start your morning with some information, have you let that filter through your brain all day long and come up with things that you're actually going to take steps on. It's about y'all. Everything you do has to be about the ideal client, but you can't make everything about somebody you don't know. So you have to get to know them. Now, let's talk about some of the calls to action, because I think this is where people get lost. You want to run ads to people who don't know you, but you don't quite know what to tell them to do. Okay? You want to create content for people who don't know you, but you don't know what to tell them to do. These are the calls to actions you should be using in your content and in your paid ads to people who don't know you, that you're introducing yourself to and giving an invitation. Okay? You want to say something like, hey, read this, right? You want to say, hey, watch this. Hey, follow me. Connect with me. Join my community. Take this quiz to find out these results. Hey, do this assessment to find out results. Hey, download this. Those are the calls to action that match this audience of people who don't know you. Okay? Also, at every stage of the lead funnel, you should be showing some type of social proof. But what kind is going to be heavy hitting for the type of person you're? Well, for TOFU, the type of social proof you need to be showing them is, hey, share with them people's responses to things you've had them read or watch. Okay? Hey, so when you're saying read this, watch this, you're saying read this and watch this. I have found that my community have found value in this, da, 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 da. Show them social proof of why they should read and watch. Because people don't want to spend their time reading and watching something that's new. It's almost like that joke of, you know, the person saying children just like to get in front of you and do something stupid, but they didn't got your attention and now you mad because they didn't stop your day to do this little jump that they thought was going to be fantastic. This is how people feel about y'all's lead magnets. Okay? If you can show social proof where other people like them found value in it, they're more likely to take you up on the call to action. You want to show them the video views, okay? You know, in certain instances on social media, YouTube or whatever, you can hide the views to the video. But we don't want to hide them. We want to show them how many other people found this valuable. That's the purpose of showing the number of views, okay? So you can show social proof of the number of views. You can show social proof of your follower growth, your engagement, okay? You can show your community growth and the community engagement. You can even show the number of results you've given or downloads taken. This is the type of social proof this group is going to value to take you up on the calls to actions that they're willing to take with you. So I hope that's helpful. Okay. So again, who is tofu? Okay. It's not just that little soy meat substitute. Okay. It's top of funnel. And those people are people who don't know you or your brand. And we sometimes hear them being called a cold audience. Okay. And what we want to do for these people is we want to introduce ourselves and our brand. Okay. And we want to give them an invite. Before we do that, we want to make sure we're clear on our people. We want to make sure that these people that we're talking to and trying to engage with are actually people who could end up buying our offer, because we're not just trying to engage, introduce ourselves, and give an invite to everybody. All right. So my question to everybody here, especially if you already know about Foo Fighters, is what more could you be doing for people who are tofu to get them to the next stage? Okay. Because most of our efforts, let me tell you, is going to be with this group, getting more and more people out of this group to come into our funnel and go through it, to be people that buy from us. So the majority of what you're doing in your business to attract people is to attract these people. So if you were doing 100% marketing, about 70% of that marketing would be for these people. Because what we know is it's a numbers game. The people that we talk to are going to be like this. The people that actually want to continue the conversation are going to be like this. And then the people that actually end up buying from us are going to be like this, right? So if this many people have to come out of this many people, right? If this small amount has to come out of this large amount, we need more and more people at the larger amount to get them down to the smaller amount. Hope that makes sense. That's why it's a funnel. So the question is, what do you know you need to be doing more of, especially in light of it's supposed to be 70% of your effort, okay? What could you be doing more of for top of funnel people? And we're going to start with Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what could you be doing more of for those top of funnel people?
Good morning, by the way. I think I would like to be doing more, I had it now left. Hold on. More, so one thing is more engagement on the social media.
Okay. Like it. I like it. I like it. That's enough. Don't think of nothing else. I think it took all you had to think of that. So Dr. Tachi said engagement. Nobody else could say engagement because y'all be playing. Look at Debbie. Messed you and Debbie up, didn't
I
it?
know. I was
By the
like,
way.
let me get in really quick. Like, but it just so happens this week I sent a survey out because I sent a weekly email out to about 2,500 people. And I'm just like, I need to know what these people are thinking. Is this content, what's resonating with them, what they want? So I sent a survey out and hopefully I will get a sizable amount of response so that I can be more focused and get to my target audience quicker and more efficiently.
I love that because remember, a quiz and assessment and surveys, that's a part of what you're doing with top of funnel. So very good, Debbie. Dr. Tachi, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, so I think I already know what I need to do in terms of that, because part of the lack of engagement thing is a lack of time. And so if it's just me doing it, then that's going to be an issue. However, and I was just talking about this last night, the need to bring on people to help with that. So I think that that will be the answer.
It is, but also for people who don't have people coming on to help with that, right? Where you start is kind of like, and this doesn't, even though you may or may not have children or multiple children, you still can understand this, right? If you are a parent and you have multiple children and you don't have a lot of time, what do we do when we don't have quantity? We have quality, okay? So even if you don't have a lot of time, you want to make the time that you have quality time, okay? So if I'm going to meet once a week and that's all the content I got, I'm going to make that once a week content quality content so that my people are looking forward to that once a week time with me. You know what I'm saying? And that they actually get something out of it. And so they're more likely to come and show up once a week, even though it's only once a week. Right? If you want to do once a month, then that's that's even more quality that once a month needs to have. So when you don't have time, it doesn't mean you do nothing. It means what you have the capacity to do, you need to do in excellence. So I would say that, Dr. Tachi. So when you don't have a lot of help, then and you don't have a lot of time, then the time that you have, you need to be spending quality time with people. That's the same with parenting. It's the same with dating, right? We need to spend quality time. Also, there are other touch points, just like if you were dating someone that was, let's say, long distance. There are other touch points that you do that make up for you not being able to be there live and in person. So we need to do quality time, and we need to do other types of touch points. So that could be emails that are scheduled, you know what I'm saying? Social media posts that are scheduled, and you live once a week or you live once a month, being excellent in that once a week or that once a month. So don't forget about that, Dr. Touch.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. Dr. LaFera, what could you be doing more of for your TOFU people? And you do a lot. So we see you over there doing stuff. So maybe you could tell people what you are doing.
Okay, thanks for letting me off the hook. So
you know we boost you up when you be doing stuff, and you good at top of funnel now. So what is some of the things you're doing?
Okay, well, I was gonna say get better, but like so what I do is right now I look at what other people are doing that are targeting women over 40, people who have like autoimmune disease and like bloating and all the other pain points that people have. And I try to the people that I want to talk to have, and then I try to share information more now to be like educational content, even if it is like showing them what I'm doing in my day or what I'm working on or what conference I'm at. I try to make it relevant to like a pain point that they may be experiencing. Yeah. And so and I try to make the hook engaging so they'll hear anyway, because like I know it's going to be useful, but like if I can't get their attention with the hook, so now I'm doing a lot of work on like, okay, well, what hook can I use? And then what call to action? Because I'm like, if I don't use a call to action, I'm like, okay, they watch, but now what? And so now I'm trying to figure out how to nurture them once I get them in. So that's like my biggest thing, probably. I'm getting people. Just trying to figure out how to nurture them now.
Okay.
Without selling to them first.
So I know that you got that Stop the Scroll workshop. So don't forget you have a whole call to action guide as a part of that workshop. It was a whole full of calls to action, right? Don't forget you were a part of the organic marketing workshop where I introduced the food fighters, and I broke down all the things for your ads and your calls to action and all of that for TOFU, MOFU, and BOFU. So don't forget that you have resources over there to help you. So thank you for that, Dr. LaFera. Shawana Kennedy Media, you are also great with TOFU in the form of video in particular. So tell the people what you're doing for your TOFU on video, and then let us know if you're having any obstacle with your TOFU in another area.
One of the things I'm doing for some of my TOFU, other than, of course, engagement and really working on the increased engagement, is even follow-up. If I see a certain amount of engagement from a person, to go into the DMs to make sure I'm saying something in the comments. Even like looking at some of the videos where if I'm showing something, making sure that I be mindful to do some type of even voiceover, because I do say to be seen and be heard. So that's a way, and then I have to show them how that can be done. So making sure that I'm showing, show and tell, and that I'm showing them how I'm doing some of the things. Because in some of the coaching and strategy is being able to have, like you said, that evidence to show them how it can be done if they don't want to do it with the thing that comes immediately to the top of their mind, if that makes sense.
Love it. It does make sense. And so the great thing about Shawana is if you guys need help with your video and your social media to attract your top of funnel, that's what she does as a service. So shout out to Shawana Kennedy, and you reach out to Shawana Kennedy and Kennedy Media. All right, Heather, TOFU, what could you be doing more of for your TOFU people?
Consistency would be great. So I've been taking your advice that you gave me last week about taking like a physical break between reporter land and business land. And so that has been helpful. I put our boyfriend to work in helping me craft some strategies on how to get TOFU. And so this week is execution. So it's consistency for me. That's the primary thing, because when I am consistent, the results show. So
yes. And I think that was a great thing for you to say, because I don't think that people understand that they're waiting on people to show up, but they're not showing up. Right. So if you show up, other people will show up.
Yep.
You want more people to show up?
Show up more.
Or have more quality when you do show up.
Yep.
So another thing, Heather, is don't get caught up, and I want everybody to hear me, right? I show up 4 days a week just on the morning show, and that's not even the only way that I show up, right? However, I am very good with mastering myself in time. I am very good with content. I'm just good with certain things that maybe you're not. So don't look at how I do things as how you should do things. Okay. You might not be able to show up live 4 days out of the week. Okay.
Right.
I want you to show up when you can show up at a time you can be consistent, so that people know when you will show up and they can schedule it and they can count on it. And therefore they start building trust because they can depend on you to show up. So how often should you show up? As often as you can be consistent with. Yep. Okay. So that takes us back to what Dr. Tachi said, right? When I don't have a lot of time and I can't do the frequency, what do? You pick something you can be consistent with. You can always grow it. Okay. You can always grow it. Because I am so consistent with my frequency, and my frequency is so high, I have things I can start and stop. Y'all ain't seen that damn magazine from January since January. Y'all ain't seen that quarterly CEO magazine. Y'all ain't seen it. Okay. It didn't work out. But I didn't lose trust with people. Why? Because there's so much dependability in other areas. It gives me that leeway and that grace to start and stop certain things that's not working for me, and rethink it. And how can I reintroduce it to give value? Because what nobody can say in my audience, whether TOFU, MOFU, or BOFU, is that I don't show up. They can say I didn't show up for that magazine, but they can't say I don't show up. You see what I'm saying? As an expert. So the more frequency you have, the more grace you're going to get to try more things. But don't start off with something you know you're not going to be able to keep up with. Don't start off with the fantasy version of you showing up, because you're starting with people. So think about it. Your friend that's been your friend for 10 years gets more leeway than somebody who just met you and don't show up to the first thing that y'all plan together. These are TOFU people. You the new friend. You can't afford to disappoint. Okay? So just keep that in mind. That was great, Heather. Thank you for helping me go down a whole nother world. Dr. Tachi said, you are so consistent. We focus on the things you are doing, not on what you haven't done. Exactly. Because I am human, right? But because I'm such a dependability machine around here, right? I do get a lot of leeway other places. So that's why I'm telling you, if you can only show up once a month, if you can only show up once a week, show up that once a month, show up that once a week where they can depend on it to be. So if you're going to do once a week, make it the same day around the same time every week. If you're going to do once a month, make it that same second week of the month on the same day of the, you see what I'm saying? Make it to where they still, even though it's infrequent, they kind of know when to expect it, right? And you'll still seen as dependable over time. It's just going to take you even longer to build trust. So just keep that in mind. Anytime you want to build trust quickly, then you need to be doing things more often. But yes, definitely show up consistently how you can. All right, let's go to YouTube. Dr. Latoya Davis over here saying good morning. Glow said hello. Chantilly said good morning and even gave us sunshine, baby. Okay, so Kimberly jumped from studio and jumped over here to YouTube, and she says she can't think of another other than engagement, but she's thinking. We'll let you get away with engagement. But engagement, though, Kimberly, keep in mind, you can only engage with people effectively that you have already met. You see what I'm saying? So I need you to think of ways you can meet new people instead of just engaging. I don't want y'all to think of engagement as like nurturing, because that's mofu, that's not tofu, okay? These are not people we've nurtured. So if you're talking about, because see, when we start using the word engagement, it gets a little muddy when we're talking about content, right? So engage could be you reaching out to people you don't know. You're engaging them. But engagement is usually people you are nurturing. So in the content space, using engagement gets a little muddy. So we're going to stay clear with it. And we're going to say you need to introduce yourself to more people and give invites to more people that you introduce yourself to. All right. Dewana is also over here on the YouTube. Kimberly said meet as in person or online. Meet, period. Both, all of it. In space, on Earth, and Mars, wherever the tofu people are. So meet people anywhere, Kimberly. Tofu is all about meeting new people online, in person, wherever, right? Introducing yourself and giving them an invitation. Now, the people that we want to meet, don't forget, we have to have a foundation of clarity. Okay? Some of y'all, your community doesn't work for you because you willy-nilly invited people into it. Now it's not filled with your ideal clients. And so that's skewing your engagement, is skewing your results from marketing and sales, all of it. So this is why the first thing is clarity. We're only focused on introducing and giving invitations to people who are already qualified leads. Okay. Glow said, I will say be more consistent with emailing the people on my email list. Ooh, Glow, you hit my Achilles heel with that one. Let me tell you, because I have come up with an email plan of nurturing and I still ain't started. I'm sorry. I'm going to get started though. I'm going to get started. It's just that, again, I'm so consistent in other places that, the email, I'd be like, come to the morning show, shit. But okay, I'm going to get started. I'm going to get started though. Chantilly said, next week, I'm starting to host monthly networking meetings. Does that count? Yes, ma'am. Now, it counts as tofu if you have a system in place to continuously invite new people. It is not tofu if you're having networking events for people that already know you. That's mofu. That would be nurturing, not an invitation. So make sure that and it can be both, okay? But be clear that you have to have an influx of new people for it to qualify as tofu, okay? That was really good, y'all. All right, does anybody have any questions about tofu? How do we have a baseline of clarity, then start to introduce ourselves and invite people to further the conversation? That is tofu. Anybody have any questions about tofu? If you need to go deeper with tofu, with paid advertising and organic marketing, I need you to go to shaycannon.com/organic. That is that game-changing, revolutionary workshop that's going to help you see marketing differently along the lines of these food fighters. shaycannon.com/organic. All right. Chantilly said, got it. Anybody else? I tell you what, start thinking about your questions while I go to these announcements. Where's my announcements? I'm pulling up everything but the oh, here it is. All right. So announcements, you can get these show notes, these valuable show notes. There's everything we discussed past the blog information and more. You can get it two ways. Number one, you could be in the group, shaycannon.info/group, download it from the files area. Okay. Number two, you can get it in your inbox. In fact, you can get the entire show in your inbox by signing up for the morning show in your inbox at shaycannon.com/show. And what'll happen is each morning you will get an email that says, hey, jump on YouTube Live. Or like yesterday, you'll get an email that's saying, hey, don't jump. You ain't gonna land on nothing because we ain't having a show today. But in the mornings, you'll get a reminder. In the afternoon, you'll get an email with 2 links, one to the replay of the show and one to the show notes. Okay. So that's the morning show in your inbox. Now, this week, Thursday, we are having our movie club night. I'm putting the poll up today, promise. And the deadline to vote will be I got Tuesday night on there, but today is Tuesday. So we're gonna say tomorrow at noon. So Wednesday at noon, so that we still have time to watch it before Thursday night. Okay. If you need information on how to be a part of that event, you got to be in the free group, shaycannon.info/group. Friday, we are having a Get Shit Done work session from 1 to 5 for the paid membership. However, if you are in the free community, you can hop on at 3 o'clock. Again, event information on that is in the group, shaycannon.info/group. All right. Dr. LaFera says, I'm getting more help this week to help me with consistency and nurturing this week. Yes, that would be awesome. Anybody else have any questions about TOFU? Because tomorrow we're moving on to MOFU. Okay. MOFU is the next step in the funnel. Those that were here that we introduced ourselves to and that we gave an invite to, everybody didn't take us up on the invite, right? So that made us here. These people, these are MOFU people. They took us up on the invite and we're going to nurture them. Okay. So we're going to talk about that more tomorrow. But today we're on TOFU. Anything else about TOFU before we get out of here? Heather's saying no for all of y'all. All right. The studio is closing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll see you right back here on